Unless they find a way to give up 5 goals in 45 seconds, it's over, people. It's over. The losing streak is over. It's finally over. Holy shit. It's over. It's over. We may have tied history, but we sure shit didn't make it tonight, guys. It's over. And I could not be happier for Don Granato right now. Through the roof for the guy. He's definitely got this team playing with more intensity. They're more aggressive. They look more disciplined. I shouldn't say I couldn't be happier with this team. I mean, let's be real. They just snapped an 18-game losing streak, but this is a huge step in a positive direction. I really do believe it, and I'm so over the moon excited right now. Like, so over the moon excited right now. This is great. It's great to see them smiling. It's great to see them having each other's backs and supporting each other. This is the first time we've seen this in a really, really long time. And if there's any optimism you can find in any of this is just the fact that we are riddled with so many injuries, so we don't even have our full team out there right now. And, you rip off a 6-1 victory here against Philadelphia. Again, granted, they had their backup goalie in tonight, Brian Elliott, even though he's owned us. How about that get that monkey off our back? Finally beating Brian Elliott. That in itself is huge. I can't stress that one enough. That guy has literally tortured us, has been just like, just realistically owned this team for how long now? And I could not be happier with just the fact that we finally got that monkey off our back with Brian Elliott. So, guys, this is great. I'm extremely happy with the way tonight went. What's to be disappointed about with that game? They played a full 60 minutes, and we were all nervous going into that third period that they were going to shit themselves and they were going to give up another 3-goal lead. I was one of them. How many times have we seen this team go into a third period with a lead and they just shit themselves all over the ice? How many times? So, it's great to see them figure it out and get a win. And it's cool to see Fogarty get his first NHL goal. I hope to see more. I know today Kevin Adams and Don Granato backed up that point that you're going to see a lot of faces from Rochester. They're going to get a look here, which is really exciting. Rustalainen, maybe even Jack Quinn. We'll see. First round pick this past 8th overall pick in this past entry draft. Hopefully we get to see a lot of new faces here. I'm happy. We have a right to be happy tonight because this has been absolutely miserable for 2 months. Absolutely friggin' miserable. And we have absolutely a right to be happy with, how tonight went. I mean, some people might call it pathetic too. They might say, oh, wow, sweet. You guys, great. You broke an 18-game losing streak. You still lost 18 games in a row. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, we lost 18 games in a row. All right, we get it. We have been literally a punchline for the sports world for weeks now. Weeks. There has been nothing positive to say about this hockey team. On to our third coach in 3 years. Maybe 4 if they hire a new guy and they don't keep Granato around. I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' opinions on Granato? I like him. Like, I'm not saying I want to hire him, but I like him. He's got these guys competing, and he's got these guys changing the style of play. The defense hops into the play more often. They're more aggressive. They're more aggressive offensively. They just seem to be more disciplined. They're better on the boards. They're better in the neutral zone, like under Granato. Again, I'm not saying Granato's the answer, but this is a better team than what we saw 2-3 weeks ago. 100%. Unlock the Labatt Blue Coolers. I love it. I absolutely love it. Exactly, because the Browns did that with the Bud Light coolers. When they finally won a game. One of the ongoing jokes today was, there's a realistic chance that the Bills could end up with more wins than the Sabres. I mean, that's still not out of the realm of possibility. We could go another 18-game losing streak after this. Knock on wood, we don't. But it's exciting to see, man. I'm over the moon excited right now. It's nice to see Montour get a few here. Maybe that increases the trade value because he's all but gone. I mean, he's gone at deadline. Maybe Colin Miller too. Taylor Hall, I mean, he didn't have a bad game either. But again, Sam Reinhart performed well at center tonight. That's nice to see because, we've been through how many head coaches now, how many GMs, and they've all refused to play him at center. He had a decent game tonight at center. I'm not saying you're going to continue to see him at center, but it was nice to see him perform well at the center ice position. I do. He's valid. Absolutely. Not coach of the future. I agree. I think he's given himself a chance here to be in the conversation, though, at least. Linus Ullmark had a great game tonight. Nice to see him get a win. And I hope so. We were talking in the two goalies, one mic chat. Kevin Bogdan brought up, if these are real owners of Terry and can realize, they literally have 20 bottles of champagne and 200 cold ones of Labatt Blue in that locker room waiting for those guys, because this, as miserable as it has been for us, you have to imagine, at least if for the players that you would hope care, it's been even more miserable for them, because just like when Ryan O'Reilly said what he said into a live microphone, it's, and me as an athlete too, growing up, and any athlete, how can you be happy coming to the rink or coming to a field and just where you constantly lose and you never win? It sucks the life out of you. It sucks the smile. It rips the smile off your face. It makes you hate playing. So, that in itself, moving forward, hopefully we see a different hockey team here. We're probably still going to finish last in the league. Let's be real. We're so far. There's so much distance between us and the next team. It's not even funny. But I just want to see progression. Show me progression. If there's anything you give us fans from here, progress every single game. Don't just take this win as thank God we finally got it out of the way. Take this win and progress. Take positive steps moving forward. That's what we need right now. I don't want to see, more steps backward, even though there's a good chance we get that, because again, this team isn't very talented and we're about to lose more talent at the trade deadline here in less than 3 weeks. We need to get, more progression. I keep saying that, progression, but that's the word, progress. Give me progress out of this lineup. I don't think we get a new head coach though. I mean, maybe, what do you guys think? Do we get a new head coach before the season's end? Do they hire somebody? Do they wait till the off season? I mean, I don't know. I would like to think that they have somebody in mind. One name that really, 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 is interesting to me, that I've heard, and I've had discussions earlier today with a friend of mine, Steve Ott. Steve Ott's the assistant in St. Louis. He's doing a pretty good job there. What if Steve Ott's the next head coach of the Buffalo Sabres? What do you guys think? Steve Ott? Anyone? I mean, Steve Ott? I mean, Bruce Boudreau, I would be happy with Bruce Gallant. Yep, Gronberg. Gronberg's been a name that's been thrown out for a long time. We were all hoping that Gronberg would be the guy this past time around before we hired Kruger. Gronberg has always been interesting. He's very innovative. And you know what? He works extremely well with Swedish and European hockey players, which we have a lot of on this hockey team. So I would absolutely be in favor of Ronberg, 100%. Just a different look at it. Absolutely. Give me Ronberg all day, every day. So we're getting ready here to see the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm not sure who they're playing tonight. I think they're playing the LA Kings. That should be a good game for you guys, to follow up on with the Sabres win. But I'm over the moon right now. 7th win of the season, how many games in, and I'm over the moon right now. I think we've tied the amount of times we've been shut out this season. So I couldn't be happier with finally getting that monkey off our back and finally just performing giving a full 60-minute effort here and getting a win. That I'm over the moon about it, man. I can't express that enough. So, hopefully we just progress from here. We're gonna have a lot of new faces here in 2 weeks. There's no doubt about it. You're gonna see a few faces from Rochester, I think, which that's exciting to me. That's exciting. We've all been wanting to see R2 Ristolainen in a Sabres uniform all season. We think he's been deserving, especially over a lot of the players that we've seen so far this season dressed for the Sabres, who I don't think is very deserving. Not very deserving at all. Kyle Okposo, the fact that he's literally not unless he was hurt, just not sat out any hockey this season. That in itself is mind blowing to me. I'll never ever understand how Kyle Okposo has consistently stayed in this lineup. I don't care how good he is playing right now. There have been times this entire season where he has hurt us dramatically. We've all seen it. So, get him off my hockey team, please. For the love of God, get him off my hockey team. I can't stand watching him play anymore. And just $6 million. It's the $6 million man. I no more. Please, no more. Jack Quinn too. Definitely interested to see him just get a couple games. I don't want to put too much on that kid. I really don't think he's ready for the NHL. But who's to say you don't give him a chance? You don't give him a look. Give him a taste. Give him a slight taste. Let him play off that adrenaline of getting his first NHL game in and just see how he performs. We all remember when Casey Middlestat first came in the league at the end of that season, and he had 4 goals in 5 games or whatever it was. He was lighting it up, and he had us all 6 to midnight in a hurry. I'm definitely interested to see if you get that same result out of Jack Quinn. But at the same time, don't make the same mistakes in the past that you've made with players like Casey Middlestat. Don't rush him if he's not ready. Let him develop his body. Let him build that body. So we also saw what Rasmus Dahlin did in this offseason. Grant Dahlin hasn't had the season we all hope for, but the guy put on 16 pounds of muscle. I want a guy like Jack Quinn to put on more size before you give him a full-time position in the NHL, because you want him to be able to hold his own and not get knocked off pucks. The way we used to see Casey get knocked off pucks every single night. Just his body wasn't ready for the NHL. And finally, you're starting to see progress from Casey Middlestat, where he can realistically be like a bottom 6 winger on this team and fill in at center. I believe it. And you know what? I wouldn't be against bringing back Casey Middlestat on a similar contract, like a 1-year deal, if he'll accept it for $1 million. Give him that and see if he can continue to progress and build off what he's done so far this season, since be given this bigger responsibility with the team. Obviously, with all these injuries we've been dealing with, Jack Eichel being the biggest. So just see if he can build off that. And see where we go with it, man. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Yes, absolutely. Quinn needs to get into a man's body, 100%. Couldn't have said it better. He needs to develop. He needs to build up that size to be an NHL player, because you don't want it, because that confidence will play into that. If he's getting knocked off pucks and he's not has the ability to play his game because he's just not big enough yet, it's going to affect his confidence early on. And I think that's what happened with Casey a lot. He wasn't ready for the NHL. He played a year of college in Minnesota, absolutely ripped it up at the World Junior Tournament. I think he was the MVP of that. And, came in with a lot of swagger, and he came back down to earth real quick because he wasn't ready for the NHL. He probably should have stayed in college for another year and then came to the AHL, in my opinion. But with that being said, man, it has been, it was a fun night. It was absolutely a fun night. I couldn't be happier with that team's effort. Just give us that every night. Give the fan base that effort every single night, and you will hear a lot less complaining. Because this city, even when the teams were bad in the past, we would always appreciate the effort, the blue collar effort. I know that's very cliche to say with the city, we're a bunch of blue collar, middle class, but it's true. We appreciate the effort. And I that's what I want. I want effort. And there's so many young faces that are on this team right now, like Bryson, Borgen, Quinn, Cousins, I know Fogarty tonight. There's so many faces that you don't want to introduce to this negative culture. Let's start rebuilding and innovating that culture now. Let's start, changing the culture now. You need to get some faces out of here too. The most obvious, I don't know how you get Okposo off your books, whether you buy him out, waive him, trade him. Hopefully you can convince Seattle to take him off your hands in the expansion draft. But you got to get rid of guys like that, to free up cap space and just to change the culture and send a message. So with that being said, guys, I couldn't, again, be happier with that effort tonight. I'm happy I didn't have to yell tonight. The only time I yelled was when they scored a goal to make it, it was 2-1. Only time I yelled the entire night in anger. So it was fun to cheer. It was fun to smile. It was fun to feel happy, even though this all really means nothing. In the grand scheme of things, when it comes to the playoffs, it means nothing. But it's progress, and it's pointing in the right direction. And again, I cannot wait to see the new young faces that are going to be on this team here in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. Maybe we can see UPL get a game in. Who knows? Maybe we do. I mean, do you guys think we should get UPL one game in here? Maybe. I no more than that. Personally, give them a taste. Give these guys a taste of the NHL. Make them hungry. Make them want it. Make them work harder in the offseason. Just give them a small taste and watch how hard they work in the offseason and bring that drive and that motivation into training camp next year. Marijuana is legal now. It is. Recreational marijuana is now legal in the state of New York. Another exciting thing. So, guys, I love it a lot. I love it. I love some of the comments. I'm loving it. Let's go, baby. Inject this momentary lack of failure straight into my face. Steve, I absolutely love it, buddy. Friend of Two Goalies One Mike, contributor to Two Goalies One Mike. All you guys, Kevin, Jacob, Haley, all of you who constantly help out with the show. Ty B, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I couldn't get through any of this 18-game losing streak without all of you. It's been very difficult, to say the least, this last 2 months. So guys, with that being said, I'm gonna cut out here. Love you all. And let's go Sabres. And I'll hang up and listen. All right. You guys have a good night. Let's get to the weekend here and maybe another Buffalo victory. Good night.